Islam gave women rights 1400 years ago.
Are you kidding me?
Political way, right? So
When
Ukraine and Russia,
100 years ago we were not fucking civilized, let me tell you that. We have all the rights right now. We have a gay rights, transgender rights, we have a woman rights. Women actually could not even vote 100 years ago.
And yeah, we're capable of critical thinking, and I think like life is an investigation where you're supposed to investigate what is the truth, right?
We treat women in Islam equality? No, I'm sorry.
Let me prove
In Iran, women cannot have the rights to be as equal. Go to Saudi Arabia, women cannot even drive.
humans to find the truth. So what do you think about that?
There is no such thing called finding the truth. Lord, the world is changing, people are changing. You cannot live like you just Muhammad lived or whoever lived 2,000 years ago. The words are very powerful.
Yeah.
My point is, 2,000 years ago we didn't have a refrigerator. No, I'm filming, we're actually talking, it's an audio.
Let me call my supervisor.
I want to talk to you, supervisor, yeah, please. This is a public place.
You don't have a foundation.
No, the point is, science is actual research in motion. Just think about who is God, what is God, ask questions. Somebody can live without a cell phone, can you tell me that? Your life is not a book, life is all about experience. I'm not going to say it's a coincidence, I'm going to say we don't know.
Why does there have to be all these different religions out there? That's what you
Ask questions, why?
This is a private building. This is
like my argument, right, is to say if you're an atheist, you believe in, I don't know if you know the facts about pigs in general, right? So pigs
In the Quran, pork is haram, you can marry 3 or 4 wives or whatever you name it. What? It's Quran says that. You know, it's a Bible says that. I actually,
Like it's
no, scientifically you're right. Pork is pretty bad.
yeah,
You know
but
that.
I just wanted to talk.
Well, I'm here with Muhammad and he doesn't want to be on the camera. So we're going to talk about especially a good conversation about God and religion and whatever. Because he saw me that I was talking. Then that's
You can
great.
let the camera see me for it. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, you can.
He's Muhammad actually. Okay. All right. So we'll talk about. So you wanted to ask me some questions.
Yeah.
You're the one who called me.
So I'll start off with this pretty interesting question. What would make you believe in God?
Evidence.
What kind of evidence?
Existence of anything. I can see you. I don't see you. I see you. You see me. I don't see God.
So empirical evidence.
Huh?
Empirical. That's called empirical evidence, right?
Yeah. Whatever. Something that is something. There must be something. I mean, faith is not fact.
Okay.
Belief is not a fact.
Okay. Well, what if you can see God in like a symbolic way through His creations? Like you can see the existence of God through His creations. Like you have indicators. Like God's creations indicate that God exists.
First of all, you can't say that indication or evidence. That is a God created. Remember what I said?
You don't have a foundation.
No, the point is science is actual research in motion. The words are very powerful. Like when it comes to science, God, spirit, and soul, they don't actually believe in that. If you actually Google right now, what is soul? Do you think does science believe in soul or whatever spirit? Science do not believe in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly the same thing. Words are very powerful. The word which is called God, and when you're actually putting into your mind, your brain, into your bloodstream, in your life, you have to understand critical and logical thinking. What is God? Who is God? Doesn't make any sense. Ask questions. Why?
Yeah.
Don't be just because my parents raised me Muslim, Islam, Catholic, Jewish, whatever, I have to pray, whatever. I was a very religious man.
Yeah.
I was a very Muslim, very, very pious and weird and all kinds of things, you name it. And I started to think logically and critically, it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
For me, logically, it makes sense, right? So, for me, and like, no offense or anything like that, I'm saying, what it boils down to, right, is that if you're an atheist, you believe in a series of convenient coincidences that benefit you.
No, I'm filming. I'll be actually
an audio.
talking. It's an audio.
It's just an audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's audio, but to capture some people. So when you want to enter,
This is a public place.
this is a private building.
No, I actually record at Dundas Square. This is Canada, man.
Let me tell you, when you're about to enter this building, check the revolving door. There's some instructions on the door, what to do and what
Well, nobody
what
saw
they
that
allow in the
before,
building.
actually.
Huh?
Nobody said. I used to do it all the time.
I'm telling you facts.
Okay, he'll put down the camera.
No, I never seen that actually.
Huh?
I never seen that. This is a public place. People can do that.
This is a private building. This is not a public place. When you go to London
This is
Square,
not saying private. This is a public place in a building.
This is a let me call my supervisor.
I want to talk to you, supervisor. Yeah, please. We never seen that. I don't believe in it.
In the meantime, let's just carry on our conversation, right? 'Cause that's like, well, for now, let's just carry on the conversation, right? So, if my argument, right, is to say, if you're an atheist, you believe in a myriad of convenient coincidences that benefit you, that stem from nothing, pretty much. They just come out of nowhere, right? So, for example, and that is illogical to me, right? So, if I had, if there's all these things benefiting you in your life, right? And you just say it's a coincidence, right? For me, a better explanation is that God did it, and we'll get there. But first, I want to explain to you that there is what you would call a myriad, a bunch of different coincidences that benefit you. For example, the sun, right? The sun heats up the earth, and the sun. If the sun was too close, we'd burn up. The earth would burn up, and if the sun was too far away, we would freeze to death. We have trees that provide us with firewood. We use it to build homes. We have the earth that's 70% water that allows for our population to be 7 billion plus or 8 billion plus. And this trend goes on and on and on, right? So there's name anything in the world. So there's.
I do understand you're actually going to come at the end, which is
So I can literally.
You can't actually say that. The point is that just because you're looking at the sun and the moon, and then we are on the right spot of the sun and then
Okay,
Earth, we get the same amount of light,
let's just
the sun's light, and it's actually perfect.
I just want to clarify one thing.
Does not
right?
mean it
Okay, but let me just
God
clarify.
exists.
Let me just clarify one thing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to say there's all these benefits, right? So so just to continue it, right? The sun moves, the sun and the night, like the sun and the moon, they move in a certain orbit, so everything is like calculated, right? So we have soil that gives us plants and food and vegetation and stuff like that, and we have the clouds that provide us with water and stuff like that. So to you, right, this is just a coincidence. As an atheist, this would be just a coincidence that benefits you. Let's just confirm that, yes or no. It's just all just a coincidence that benefits you.
I'm not going to say it's a coincidence. I'm going to say we don't know. It just happened. How do we know? We have to research. It's a black or white. We don't have this technology to find out is there any other universe out there. We can't actually go 1 light years. It's actually which is called that we have. We found that so noisy. Give me 1 second. Okay,
No, but I'm trying
we
to-
have 1.4 light years away from Earth. We have a planet called some kind of Earth. I don't know the name, forgot. We don't have the technology yet. But just because you have this creation does not mean that there is somebody who created you.
but
If you
see-
say God created you,
Okay. We'll work past it, right?
you again.
Yeah. So
Let's stay here.
all right. So
Are you comfortable with the video?
Yeah, you got me on video. Let me just push my point.
Okay. We don't have. It's very noisy here. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. All right. So we moved to a different place. It's very noisy that area. All right, Mohammed.
All right.
what I'm trying to explain to you, we don't have evidence. You can't actually say that God created it. The words are very powerful. I told you at the beginning, words are powerful. I want you to acknowledge, understand the words meaning of that. Spirit, soul, COVID, Omicron, Delta, Alpha. They're actually scaring you because of this name. They come up with, oh, we have an Alpha, we have a Delta, Omicron, H1N1, SARS. These are actually words. Words are very, very powerful. If I say the FU right now, you'll get angry. If I say you're a wonderful, amazing person, and you're gonna go right, oh my God, thank you very much. So like I said, words are very powerful. Exactly the same thing. I want you to understand. If somebody tell you that God, just think about who is God, what is God, ask questions. Why? Why should I pray? First of all, I don't understand the meaning of prayer. And then the point is that you have to understand, I think what's the word for that? Meditation is very important in the morning. Yoga, meditation, has nothing to do with the religion. That's what actually people needed. You just close your eyes 10 minutes every morning, and then it's just calm you down, relax you down. It doesn't have to be in the morning, anytime you want. And that is nothing to do with any religion. Just close your eyes, and then you refresh your mind and everything, and the thoughts and emotions comes. You want to know what you want to do in your life, and that's what's very important. And they actually brainwashed you just like me. When I was a teenager, I was a very religious man. 5 times prayer, Friday prayer, Islam, Allah, Quran. Life is not a book. Life is all about experience. When I came to Canada, I ate burger, bacon, hamburger, you name it, all kind of prohibited by religion, Islam. And then I had a beer, it's fine. I went to pub, I talked to women. Oh, you can't see a woman, you can't talk to a woman, don't do that. This is all man-made shit. Life, if you do something that you really won't enjoy.
So before you said, yo, you don't want me to talk about that because you don't have the foundation of God in the first place, right? But now you brought it up, so it's only right that I can respond to it.
Okay.
Right? And my argument for that, what you just said right there, is that everything that's prohibited in Islam protects you, right? So you have pork, right? So we see that a pig, right? So everything in Islam protects you, right? So let's just go.
What do you mean protection?
Protects you.
Just because someone is eating bacon or pork.
Protects you from harm, right? So there's been millions of people.
You're living in Canada, right? So Health Canada.
All right.
Did not.
So I don't know if you know the facts about pigs in general, right? So pigs are an animal, right? They don't have sweat glands, right? So they don't detox like a regular animal would, right? And the anatomy of a pig is not the same as, let's say, a cow, right?
Okay.
A cow has 3 different stomachs, and a cow pretty much detoxes toxins much more efficiently than a pig, right? And obviously, and then symbolically, a pig is a filthy, dirty animal, right? So I was doing a reading in university about pigs and legal positivism, right? So it's a pretty interesting reading, and it talks about how pigs used to pretty much they used to roam the streets of New York, right? And they used to, and this is before toilets. This is like the 1800s, right? So this is before toilets were like widespread or whatever. And just to finish my point quickly, I'll just be quick, right? So humans, right? Without the sewer system, right? They used to poop. They used to throw their poop out the windows in the streets of New York, right? And the pigs would come, right? And pretty much they're scavengers, right? So they would eat all the poop on the streets. It sounds crazy, it sounds disgusting, right? But this is symbolically like why we don't eat pigs, right?
I know
so let me
that.
just finish. So yeah, the pigs would come, they would eat all the poop and filth on the streets, and then the humans would come and they would eat that, right? So their stomach systems or their anatomy is it's not as advanced as other animals in detoxing harmful waste, and plus they're just disgusting, and they would eat anything alive. Like they would eat if a farmer died in front of his pig, the pigs would literally eat up that same farmer, right? So So
Okay, you're talking.
so that's just one
2000
element, right? So so that's just one little element. So
Okay.
but everything that's prohibited is exactly it's gonna be the same. I can talk about all how it's harmful for the individual and harmful for society at large.
Okay, just because the pig is dirty, it does not mean God exists.
I didn't see that's not my argument.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
Everything you do on this life is based on because of God.
That's not my argument though. My argument though is everything
I'm
God
coming there. The argument that you're actually pointing out that we had pork 2,000 years ago, pig, they actually eat their own shit. We do know that. We know that.
Yeah.
My point is, 2,000 years ago, we didn't have a refrigerator. We know that pigs are actually a dirty animal.
Okay.
If it's actually really dirty, why we have a hamburger? Why we have a bacon? Canada actually really concerned about health. Canada. Now my point is that the point is everything that we do it in life, like certain things. Like if you actually go to India, they do not like to eat cow meat. They actually worship the cow like God.
Yeah.
If you're eating right in front of them cow meat steaks, they'll fucking kill you right away. Exactly the same thing. If I'm eating pig right in front of Muslim people in Saudi Arabia, they might kill me. This is how brainwashed. I mean, let me finish. The point is that in life, that we are exist on this planet, like you and me. Like I was born Muslim, you're born Muslim, Hindus, Christian, Catholic, Jewish, whatever it is. We are human at the end of the day. We are bloody fucking humans. We humans, we breathe. We're gonna fucking live 85, whatever, 90 years maximum.
So in Islamic scripture,
But you breathe, I breathe, you sleep, I sleep, you shit, I shit. We all do the same thing, man. So why do we have to have these divisions, which is called we are Muslim, we are Christian, we are Catholic, we are Jewish, we are Presbyterian, we are Anglican, we are Sunni, we are Shia. I don't understand this fucking divisions. That's what I'm actually trying to explain to you. If you really believe in God, just believe in God. Don't actually say to people that I'm Muslim, man, or I'm Christian, man, I'm Catholic, man, I'm Jewish. This is what I don't like it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, all of these people, they're actually really believing in God, but it's actually based on the books, which is, you know what? It's Quran says that. You know, it's the Bible says that. I actually talked to Hindu people in July. I went to the Hindu festival in Toronto Island, and there are actually so many Canadians actually converted to Hinduism, and they're really, I'm not saying they're brainwashed, they really like their religion, but they're actually really accurate. Oh my God, you know what, this Hinduism, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's fine, you live your life, but the point is that actually their life is always based on books. The Bhagavad Gita, the Torah, Quran, Bible, you name it. Life, this is what I'm actually explaining to you. Life is not a book, man. You're telling me all of these things, because I was born Muslim. You're saying everything is actually written in the Quran. Pork is haram, you can marry 3 or 4 wives or whatever you name it. Well, Muhammad did that. I mean, that is 2,000 years ago. I mean, you live in a 21st century, 2024, completely different world. The world is changing. I mean, who the hell you can actually, somebody can live without a cell phone, can you tell me that? No one can live without a cell phone. Everybody has to be connected. I'm going to give an example. My previous landlord, they had some problem all the time with the Wi-Fi. It fucking shuts down all the time. And for the 3 hours or whatever, 1 hour, I was like, I want to die because we are hooked up this internet. I can live, you can live without water for 3 days, without food. But you cannot live without internet for 2 hours, 3 hours, without a day. People go crazy. And Rogers, 2 years ago, it was something shut down their internet, whatever happened. All of them went to Starbucks, whatever, this small people who are with Rogers at the time. I was with Rogers, and guess what happened? People just came to the Starbucks and like hundreds of people to the mall. They were like animals, like, you know, some kind of like, what do you call that, the words in English? I forgot. It's just chaos. That's how we are living on this world. The world is changing, people are changing. You cannot live like Muhammad lived or whoever lived 2,000 years ago. your life is not a book. Life is all about experience. Go out there, live your life. The other hand,
you're saying
life is
I
colorful.
wanna
I mean, I
I
don't
want to be able to
understand.
like respond to what you said, right? So just to go way back to what you said, right? You said Muslims. You said if they see you eating pigs in the street, they might kill you, right? So that is completely antithetical to the scriptures. Like it's
No,
completely,
scientifically, you're right. Pork is pretty bad.
yeah,
You know
but
that.
I just want to say, any Muslim that attacks you for eating pork would be going against the scripture. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then you said there's a bunch of deviations, like there's a bunch of different religions, right? So there's a myriad of different religions out there, and correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Yeah.
If why does there have to be all these different religions out there? That's what you
Ask questions. Why?
Yeah.
This is the most beautiful word in English. Why? Why am I in Canada? Why did I come from my country? Why am I traveling? Why am I here right now? I'm talking to you. When you actually say the word why, your brain started to.
I agree with that. That's a beautiful question. Why, right?
Why? Why am I? Why should I get married?
Why to me? Right?
Yeah, why?
Why to me is pretty much to say, for me, humans, right? We have this brain, right? It's pretty complex, right? And yeah, we're capable of critical thinking, and I think like life is an investigation where you're supposed to investigate what is the truth, right? So Islam is a pretty beautiful religion because it confirms all the monotheism religions of the past. So like Christianity, so it confirms Christianity as an authentic religion in its originality, right? And the same thing with the Jewish religion, right, in the Torah, right? So it confirms it as true.
If I ask you a question because you're Muslim, right? Islam and Judaism is pretty much the same. They have a kosher, the way they kill it. Muslims can eat kosher meat. Jewish people can eat halal meat. Islam is actually, Judaism came first and then Judaism, right, came first.
Yeah, Judaism.
Or Christianity came first, I forgot. But anyway, the last religion, the last religion is Islam. And so Jewish and Muslims, they're actually pretty much the same.
But just to give you my why, right? So I think we're supposed to do an investigation as humans to find the truth. So what do you think about that?
There's no such thing called finding the truth.
See,
In this subject, no, what I'm trying to explain,
Right?
if you're a critical thinker, if you're a logical thinker,
It's subjective,
no,
right?
there
It's
is no
subjective. I
such
think
thing
there's
called.
truth
No,
there.
what I'm actually saying is, you have to understand, if you're, how old are you, if you don't mind asking?
28.
You're 28,
Yeah.
okay? And I became an atheist when I was 21, that is 23 years ago. There are things that you have to find out for the truth. We do understand that. For example, the existence of this universe or whatever, afterlife, whatever, you just name it. But when it comes to logical, critical thinking, this God, if you just looking at it, what is happening, who is that, blah, 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 and you're not going nowhere. You're going to say God, 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 God. And then when I ask you God, who created God, all of these religious people, I actually saw so many religious people, all the religion, God is eternal. This is what I'm actually getting at. God, nobody fucking no idea.
So
When you die, you die. That's it.
So I spoke to you about infinite regression, right? And there has to be one first uncaused cause to start the series of events, right? So let's say you're a sniper, right? You're a sniper, and I tell you to shoot someone, right? And then you have to get permission to shoot someone, and that person has to get permission to shoot someone, and it goes on forever and forever and forever, just like I have a beginning, the earth has a beginning, and the universe has a beginning. It goes on forever and forever and forever. It would never have that sniper, that shot would have never got fired, and our existence would have never came into being.
We know
Right?
that's a
And
beginning.
then you said, who created God?
Yeah.
Right? And I told you, God isn't confined to the same rules that we're confined to, right? And you said, okay, that goes against logic now. That goes against the logic that we're using to establish, to search for God, right? It goes against it, right? That's what you're saying? And I'm responding to that. I'm saying God wouldn't be God in the first place if he was confined into those to those limitations of that we're confined to. Right? So in Islam, right? In Islam, God is eternal, God is one.
You say in Islam again.
Yeah,
I told you.
This is like
No,
we
you
God-
can't say
God-
that. I mean, as a someone who's actually a critical and logical thinker, you can actually say to these things. In Islam, say that. Quran says that. In Judaism, says that. Hindu says that. But if you're talking to a man like me, a critical, logical thinker, you can't say that in Islam. In Islam,
Yeah, you point one in here.
in Hindu.
No, I'm an academic.
You can say God. Just say God. Because you're actually dividing the people
Okay, let's
right
just say,
now.
let's just
say
say
that
God. Let's just say God, right?
Muslims, we are Muslim. Muslim in Islam says that. No, you can't say that. You breathe, I breathe, you sleep, I sleep. We're all same shit. They're same people. There's no difference between you and me. Why is it? Why do you say that human? Because you're a human. I'm a human. I mean, stop calling. Why is it Palestinian and Jewish people are fighting each other? It's because of you're Muslim, you're Jewish, we're Muslim. Religion caused the most evil on this bloody
That's a
planet.
fallacy. I mean, that's not a fallacy. That's just
Go to India.
You know.
In India,
This is kind of like gonna take the conversation on a little tangent, but if you really look at who caused the most atrocities on earth, it'd be like the world wars, and then we'd have to look at colonialism because that killed the most amount of people.
we know that, but I'm
There's
actually
political
saying
wars,
that
there's political wars, right? So
when
Ukraine and Russia,
100 years ago we were not fucking civilized, let me tell you that. We have all the rights right now. We have a gay rights, transgender rights, we have a woman right. Women actually could not even vote 100 years ago. Women cannot vote. We are talking about that. We have all the rights here. That's the point is that we were not fucking civilized 100 years ago. Absolutely not. And then after the Second World War, we have United Nations pop up, and then NATO pop up, and
That's
then
the
we are
Western
big. No, the
world.
point is
That's
that
the
what I'm
Western
trying to
world.
explain to you.
that's the Western world.
No,
That's the Western world.
Why-
I feel
okay,
like,
yeah.
I feel like Muslims were civilized 1,400 years ago, or 14 to 1,500 years ago.
Western world. You're talking about the Western world. We are living in a Western world. While we are here,
The
all the
Western world is catching up to Islam.
no. You
You
keep
know,
saying
you
Islam.
okay, look at human rights, right? Look at rights given to women, right? Islam gave women rights 1,400 years ago.
Are you kidding me?
I swear to God, this is
When
all factual.
I'm a Muslim, I was born
Yeah.
Muslim. I'm not a Muslim.
So
you
let me
can't
give
say
an
about
example.
that.
Let me give you an example, right? Before Islam,
We treat women in Islam equality. No. I'm sorry.
Let me prove my point.
Just Afghanistan. Go to Pakistan.
Let me prove my
Go to
point.
India. Go to Saudi Arabia. Women cannot even drive.
Yeah, there's
I mean,
a-
it
there's
happened
a-
like 3-4 years ago.
Hear me out.
Women can drive now. Women cannot go to see their let me say that the football game.
So there's
In Iran,
in the
women
Quran,
cannot have
in the Quran.
the rights to be as equal in Iran.
Okay, let-
And you're telling me well, Islam is treaty. I'm sorry, man. I'm just trying to explain to you.
it's
sorry.
interesting. It's an interesting conversation. I'm intrigued. Don't worry.
Because you're talking to a man who was Muslim, so I know about religion, Islam. Like they're absolutely. My father, I'm gonna tell you something, treated my mother like a housewife. Of course, that. Every time my father is telling, "Give me a tea, give me something." Every time my mom has to go to the kitchen and do something for her. Even back in my country, I wasn't even making tea or coffee or making anything. Either my sister or my mom, because we consider a man should not go to the kitchen. You see? So what's changed that is because we came to Western countries. We are equal, man. See, I'm cooking, my wife is cooking, everybody's cooking. Sister, brother. So we all actually equality. We are treating it because we treat equality. We have a human right. But back, if you actually look at all this Middle East, Southeast Asia, African countries, there's no human rights, especially for ladies, women. Absolutely not.
Okay, so in Islam, right, when you marry a woman, right, so 1,400 years ago, right, this was established, right? So when you marry a woman, you have to give her something called a meher, right?
Yeah.
A meher is pretty much
You mean dowry, right?
yeah, dowry, right?
That's like selling women in India.
It's not selling.
No,
women,
it is a
actually-
selling. It's like an auction. If I'm an engineer, if I'm a doctor, and I go and say, okay, your daughter, okay, I'm a doctor, so I'm actually asking the girl, the father, bride father, 50k or 100k. Because that's in India, but it's the opposite. The man has to pay to a woman in Saudi Arabia,
That's a
in Middle East
cynical-
countries.
cynical.
But the point is, that's a
But you
shit.
understand how that's so.
No, that's
cynical-
really shitty. You know
You
why?
understand that that's a cynical outlook.
But,
That's like a cynical, insidious outlook. You know why?
No, do you-
'Cause people,
are you agree with
people,
that?
People are gonna get married, right? And people are gonna get married, and the woman is being offered money that's hers. That's her money.
Look.
So how does that? How is a gift? How is a gift something that's bad?
how many people are killing each other?
It's not
Honor
selling.
of killing.
It's not
In
selling.
India, if you Google right now, you got married
Right.
and then you did not bring too much money.
And then before I
Ask your
respond to that-
father.
Before I respond to that,
That's
right?
what they're selling their
Before I
children.
respond to that,
The bride, the girls.
before I respond to that, right? So in Islam, right, the men's money is pretty much considered like the women's money. Like so women have access to her man's money, right? And it's not
No,
the other way around. I'm the man's responsible for everything to help her out and stuff like that. It's not the other way around. It's obviously a duty and a responsibility that's burdensome. So it's a.
I live in Canada, my friend,
It's not
for
easy.
27 years. When you see a girl, a man, it's just pure love. There is no such thing for the actual fighting. That is, you have to give me, and I'll give you this much. No. This is the beauty. That's actually real love, fall in love. Unfortunately, in Saudi Arabia, in India, they're selling each other. They're actually putting an auction. They're waiting for a big bidder.
That's the horrible.
It's a horrible.
That's the horrible, right? So that's.
I was born in a country in Sri Lanka where the people are really brutally. Parents actually don't have money. They're actually waiting the daughter to get married because they can't actually afford it. They can't have money to give
India is
to the
in
group.
India,
I'm sorry, man. I've
I know,
seen this shit.
I heard about those weddings in India, and it was different. It's literally the woman has to pay the guy. Have you ever heard of that or no?
Nope,
Like
that's
in
what I'm
India?
saying. Dowry.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
father.
yeah. But the context is the woman has to pay the guy, and Islam's the opposite. Men have to give a mahr, an amount of money.
Yeah, we are not talking about Islam. We are talking about the system, the Western, and then the third world countries. We're not talking about that. We should not give him money each other. It's not love. It is not love. Absolutely not love.
Let me say something. You're holding up the West to this high.
I'm not talking about Western. I'm talking about if you actually think about what is really makes sense in
I would
life.
say the biggest crimes committed against humanity are from places like Europe, Canada, and America. So all the colonial nations that are responsible for colonialism have stolen trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars from the global south without allocating them the funds that they deserve, right? And then to literally illuminate how inferior the West is. The West is a nation that currently topples democratically elected governments to this very day, right? So if you look at countries like Iran, the Congo, and all these countries in the global south, the West literally.
So you really don't like
the West propagates itself as a democracy, while at the same time toppling democratically elected governments. So if you ever read the book, it's a book called Confessions of an Economic Hitman, written by John Perkins. He talks about how the West topples democratically elected governments in the global south in order to extract their resources and exploit those countries, right? So the West to me, and then so that's just one context of like the disgusting things that occur in the West, right? But the history of the West, that's like surface level. Like there's
we were talking about
atrocities-
religion.
But you brought up the West because you're holding up the West as high standard. I'm trying to tell you the West is atrocious. I'm trying to tell
I
you.
told you at the beginning, 100 years ago, not even 100, 60
Sorry,
years
sorry to
ago.
interrupt you, sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to say that that's just a surface level criticism of the West. If you really look at the West is absolutely
Okay,
disgusting.
so you're Muslim, you were born here. If you don't like the West, I think you should leave.
That is, that's...
Am I right? I mean, you really don't like it here. I mean, I came here because I like the Western ideology, everybody's equal, because it wasn't actually like 100 years ago, whatever, 60 years ago.
Okay, so let's think about that critically, right?
Yeah.
Let's think about that critically. I criticized the West, right? And I said the West engaged in these atrocities against mankind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your first response was not to say, oh, I agree that that's deplorable and disgusting. Just like when you talked about women and the things that happen to them, I agreed. I'm like, that's disgusting. I condemn it. It's disgusting, right? Your first response was to not say, okay, what the West did was disgusting, and I condemn the West for doing that thing. Your first question was to say, why are you in the West, right?
If you
And
don't
I
like
think-
something, why don't I live here? If
If
I don't like my roommate, I'll just move out.
Everything's
That's it. Simple.
everything is nuanced, right? So I can get into that, right? But we're personalizing the conversation, right? So I'm not gonna talk about my finances and stuff like that and all the things that entails, right? Right? But I'm trying to tell you, you're holding the West to this high standard, and it's against Islam. Like the West is something, like the West, like is this beautiful thing, but it's a disillusion. It's not what it seems to be.
Anyway, we were talking a lot, and we can actually keep on going. This is actually not going anywhere. I really enjoyed it, actually.
I like it to be,
Yeah.
just to get this one last thing on camera.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of good things that occur in Canadian society, right? But I'm gonna be impartial, and I'm gonna say, hey, if there's bad things that can occur in the Western societies, I'm gonna criticize it, right? And I think that's only
That's
fair,
good.
right?
That's good. I accept your opinion. It's
All right.
good. Perfect. Thank you, Mohammed. Appreciate that, man. It's nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Bye.